My name is Isra Daraiseh, and I live in Flint, Michigan. This short digital story is about how my father, Ibrahim Daraiseh, came to the U.S. and started his own business. I chose this first picture of my grandparents because not only do they look great, but also to symbolize the beginning of where my father came from before he immigrated to Michigan. My grandparents raised 5 boys and 1 daughter, all of whom also immigrated to the U.S. except for the daughter. My father and late grandmother, Hilal. This was in the late 60s, early 70s. My dad would visit Jordan every year or two. This was before he got married and had children. My family in the early 80s going to Jordan for one of their visits. In the picture is my father, Ibrahim, my sister Suzanne, my brother Omar, and behind them my eldest brother, Barakat. We fast forward here to a picture in Ramtha, Jordan, at our home. We were cooling off in the water with my other grandfather, Muhammad, my mother's father, and my siblings. My mother, aunts, and I visiting Bedouin family friends in El Mafraq. My father and I picking fruit in our front yard in Jordan during the 90s. He was visiting for a few weeks from Michigan at the time. The picture of my father in the golf cart is with my late Uncle Ali, who is the oldest of the brothers and who's also the reason for why they all immigrated and started their own businesses. He came to the U.S. first, and then he encouraged the rest of his brothers to follow, and they did. My father first came to the U.S. in 1967. Among the places he and his brothers worked before entering into the small business sector were General Motors and Citizens Bank. But after seeing how successful my eldest uncle was with his own business and him encouraging them again to start their own small business, they all soon did as well. They took out loans and all bought their own supermarkets in varying cities in Genesee County. My father lived in the U.S. for some periods of time while my mother and siblings were in Jordan. My parents wanted us to have the best of both worlds. I, for example, spent my early childhood in Jordan and was able to preserve my Arabic and grasp on our culture, and so did my older siblings. During that time that my mother and us lived in Jordan, my 2 older brothers and sister would fly to visit my father every few summers. In 1998, we officially all moved back to the States. My mother began helping my father by working in the store, and so did my brother Mohammed and Barakat. My father is the youngest and therefore was the last one to retire this year and sell his business after almost 45 plus years of being self-employed. My father and extended family's journey to the States has taught me a lot of life lessons, but most of all, that they did a great job of getting us to love our new home, but to also never forget our roots.